Hello YouTube, welcome to the dojo, you're here with Samurai Man, and today, finally, we have the Mastermind Creations Feral Rex. And he is a beefy son of a shepherd. I mean, I don't even have him combined yet, and already he's expanding out the barriers of my reviewing station. So, it's gonna get intense, it's gonna get crazy, and we're all gonna love it together. So, start off with, we'll just get right down to it. Let's put them all together. I'm going to move some stuff out of the way, and we'll get the wing pack going out of the way. Obviously, not complicated at all. I mean, pretty standard combination. Just peg in those giant pegs into the corresponding peg holes. I can get them. They make sure that they're not going nowheres, so it's good. There's actually two little bumps. I think they're springy. Yeah, maybe not, but they're kind of like, there's two little bumps there to lock in the legs, so you don't have to worry about them ever coming off unless you want them to come off. Which I like. There we go. So bam! He is tall already. I'm not looking at my viewfinder, so I'm not even sure if you guys see him. No, you can't see him, I just checked. Alright, so bring up the camera. He is towering. Oh my stars. Oh my stars. I'm gonna have to get a pose going eventually. But for now, we'll just work with what we got, and I'll fiddle with it later. Anyways, again, he's got those big old pegs, so we'll take Talon here and combine the arm. There we go. Probably saw me shaking a bit. They are tough to get in, but once you get in, I'm not too worried about them falling all over the place or anything, so that's good. It's a good sign. Take the other arm. There we go. There we go. This one was a little bit easier, actually. There we go. Okay, whew. We're getting there. We're getting there. Take the beautiful wing pack, and I don't know if this is exactly how it's going to look, but for now I'm just having this formation. Pegging on the back, right here. But this time you're going to pull out this big old peg here, so we didn't use that before, but now we are. And that's just to make sure. Actually, let me see. Should I take out the cannons first? Should I move them out of the way first? I think I'm going to move these cannons out of the way first, and then put on the wings. Let me see. Get those out of the way. Extend them also. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but extendo out of the way. Take this, put this in here. There we go. Nice and snug, not going anywhere. The wings look a bit awkward in that position, so I'll probably move them, but yes, here we are. Let's see, maybe if I do it like this. There we go. Yeah! Ooh, he is just... This is the first time I put it all together. I saved it for you guys. There we go, now I'm getting a little stable there. Yeah, you know, he's getting a little... a little lumpy. He's got ball joints for ankles. So he is a biggin. Expect nothing less from Predaking. He is, or Feral Rex I should say. He's big. He is huge. He is ginormous. He is very well proportioned. Out of everything there is to say, he is very well proportioned. Not often you see that with a confiner. I'd say him and Hercules are about the only, well, you know, Intimidator's pretty well proportioned also, but this guy's got it down perfectly. His head's not too small, his legs aren't too big, his arms aren't too short, his chest isn't too tiny. It's all very well evened out, and I like that. Just want to really quickly point out, I was able to get the tabs and the tigers on the sides. It took some fiddling, but it was doable. So I just want to point that out. In my review, I wasn't able to do it. I thought they had just messed up. No, it's a little tough to get it in, but it gets in, and it's good now. So just wanted to mention that. Also, I don't know, in my Leodux review, I think I said you could just leave this hanging. There actually is a tab on the inside that you're supposed to flip out, but it's not mentioned in the instructions. Big surprise there. But yeah, you are supposed to flip it out, and it does peg into the cavity that's in the crotch plate. So I was like, why is that there? Why can't I tab anything in there? And I just figured it out. So just some minor things I wanted to point out, just because I think it's worth mentioning. So yes, you can see he just looks glorious. Let's just take a moment and just look at him over. I just wish I can get his eyes to glow, unfortunately. That I can't fix. That's just internal problems. It wasn't designed correctly, so the whatever's supposed to be connecting with on the inside for the batteries isn't properly connecting, so it doesn't work properly for me. So that sucks, but not a big deal. He still looks great. I love him. It looks so beautiful. And we're not done there. We still have to combine all those weapons. Let's bring them out. So here we have everything that you're going to need to make the blade. The awesome, mighty Ouroboros, which I'm pretty sure it's called. I don't remember the exact name, but bam! Here we go. So, start off with, we're going to need Bovis, Talon, and Tigris' weapon. So what we do here is, starting with, oops, not that one. Starting with Tigris and Bovis, you're going to want to have, there's a little tab hole right in there, and at the end of the hilt, And then here we have Bovis's weapon with a little tab at the end of his hilt. And they're going to come very nicely together. And just like that. And now we're going to have like this L-shaped thing. Next up, we take Talon's weapon. And what we're going to do is there's kind of a weird slit right here at the top, as well as right up here. And this all just comes together very nicely. You want to have it facing this direction. So bring it in like this, and then hook it around at the back of this blade. There you go. So it comes in very nicely, and we have a piece of the blade. Put that off to the side. We'll do it again. Bam, bam, oops, backwards. Like this, and like this. Like that, and like that. Like this, and like that. Ta-da! Put that off the side. Have it right here, you can see, bam. Next up, we're going to take the tail of Leodux and part of his stomach. It's kind of weird, but yes. Put it in, fits perfectly in there. It's kind of loose, but once you have it all together, it's not going to be loose. So have it like that. I'm going to put it like that just so it stays in. Next up, take the blade for Fortis. And what we're going to do is there's a little, you can see, tab hole kind of right there at the bottom. And also here at the mid, there's kind of like a tab hole right there. And they are going to go into their corresponding slots. And while the tail doesn't sit in, these pieces do. So just get it like that. And like this. And lastly, just connect it all together with this bit. Just bring it all in. And there we go. So now it's all solid and ready. That's that configuration. So we have two pieces so far. And lastly, we want to take the mighty blade, the cleaver thing of Leodux, and just make it into that giant blade mode that I think I showed it off in the Leodux video. But do it like this. Bam! And now combine them. So make sure it's all lined up, these little teeth. There we go. Now, I didn't realize it when I first did the video of Leodux, but at the bottom here, these pieces do clip together, whereas these are all just slid into each other. These ones clip. There are clip holes. There you go. So you want to bring that all together. That's very important because now these hilts are close together for the peg holes here at the bottom. Now what we're going to do is take this sword and then put it into these peg holes that are right up here. And it's about to get real big real soon. And I don't know why I'm missing. There we go. My coordination is just black. Bam! So it feels a little incomplete. And that's where these bits come in. Oops. That's where these bits come in. So the way it works is we have this here little round peg kind of looking thing, but it doesn't actually peg in. And then you just want to slide it into here. So there's a slit here. You can see kind of like a slit, kind of, but it's right there. That's where the hilt of Tigress's blade will go in. And then you want to bring it in. And then you want to slide everything up here also. Get that in. There you go. And that's very solid. That's not going anywhere. Don't worry about anything coming undone. It's all in there. Super solid. And it's just shaping up to look great. Do it again on this side. Nothing's really going to change. Actually, nothing is going to change. I don't know why I say nothing really going to change. Nothing is going to change. Even though change is the only constant. But that's a story for another time. And I think I got it. I think it's all in there. There we go. Now it's nice and... There it is. It's all nice and solid. That is a blade if I ever done seen one. That is magnificent. Oops. Yeah, there is a hinge for the tail, so keep that in mind when you're putting it in his hand. So you want to have it like, if his hand's like this, you want to have it like that. So that way it's locked. Because if you do it like this, then it's whoop, it's going to droop. But yeah, I love how this doesn't feel like a bunch of pieces came together. This looks like its own solidified blade. This looks like one giant chunk. And I love that. Obviously, you can see there's some gappiness, but that's not an issue at all. This is very well done. Very filled out. It just looks great. It's very big. Look at it in my hand. This is like a dagger. This is like a buck knife. I could see this like... I could see myself going into like a fight with this and just like... Yeah! Like this is maybe the Sting. What do they call it? Yeah, like Sting from The Hobbit. I think that was called his sword. Like his little short sword. That's what this feels like. This is just exquisite. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I can't stop telling you how much I love it. It's just so beautiful. Now we're going to go ahead and bring in that beefy gun. Now, to make the awesome mega cannon, I don't know what it's called, but I'm calling it a mega cannon. So, we'll start off with Fortis's weapons. And this is very important that you watch this because it is not explained well in the instructions. I had to figure this out for myself. In the instructions, it just says, bring these together. Thing is, look at these pegs. They are colliding. We're crossing swords right now. And it's not working out. So, what you need to do is actually... This is what I do. You're supposed to twist these around, but they are... You're supposed to twist the peg around, but it's ridiculously hard to do it. It's like impossible. I haven't done it with my own strength so far. What I do is I peg these together, sort of, like this backwards to get some leverage. And then I rotate it with the peg in the hole. There we go. And then you want to bring it out. So now I've rotated it, because there's no way I can do it without cheating, I guess, like that. So, that's how I do it. Because the thing is, it's very difficult to get this thing apart. Getting it together is not so hard, but getting it apart is really hard. Especially Fortis's weapon. So you want to slide it onto that slider right there. Goes right in there. This is probably the hardest part of the gun mode when you're disassembling, is getting these two pieces off. Because you want to slide them on, and then they are very hard to slide off. You hear that nice click? It is solid. Next up, we'll go ahead and take the shotguns of Tigress. Two nice little peg holes at the top. Just put them in right there. Nice and firm. And they're perfect. That's shaping up to look nice. Take the weapons from, I believe these were Fortis. Not Fortis. Bovis. Yeah, Bovis. And there's a little peg on the side. And then there's a little groove up here. And that goes right there. And the groove in the front goes there. And you want to get it all the way in. You want to hide all of the handles of the weapons. You want to get rid of them. So it looks like one perfectly good weapon and not a bunch of smaller ones attached to one giant weapon. Then it's a little difficult to get some parts in, like I said. This one's probably tougher than the sword, but it looks nice when it all comes together. Lastly, there's a peg hole right there. You can kind of see it. Peg hole there and one up there. I want to bring this here. These two different handles. And just make sure it's secure. It's going to be more secure in the front than back here. This is kind of just to hide the handle, but really get secure in the front. And extendo! Bam! Here is the awesome Mega Cannon. This thing is just beefed up. I was like, why don't we just use this cannon? I mean, do we need all the weapons attached? Yes, we do. This feels nice and solid. It feels chunky. It looks great. It's really hard to disassemble, at least at the back, but getting it there, it just looks great. It's not going to fall apart. Nothing. I mean, this slides, but that's not going to fall. Nothing's coming off. You're golden. This is beautiful. Not quite as big as a sword, obviously, but it is a wrist-mounted cannon, so, or like a forearm, I guess. So it's not supposed to be. So go ahead and attach these bad boys onto the main vent himself. So what you want to do is you have these two little sticking out tabs on the side, and you're going to go ahead and plug them right into the feet of Talon, or Tigress, just whatever you feel like looks better, but I'm going to go with Talon just so you can have one-on-one, and one weapon in one hand and one on the other. There you go. And make sure it's all secure. Bam! Intensified. That just looks so freaking sick. It's not even funny. It's downright terrifying. I'm terrified of this guy now. Please don't kill me, Mr. Rex. Alright, now I'm getting creepy. I don't know why I'm doing that. Let's just stop. Let's quit while we're ahead. Try to get into a good pose if I can. There we go. Yes. Haha. I did it. Very exquisite. This is just. This is a piece of gold. If Transformers were gold, this would be platinum. That's even better. Pretty sure platinum's better. So yeah, very nice. This is beautiful beyond words. Holy haberdashery. Can we all just say it together? Let's just, son of a shepherd. Did you all say it with me? Son of a shepherd. This is a beautiful piece of art. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little freehand in it with the camera, just so you guys can see the whole view. Get this whole glory and everything. Just looks great. From head to toe, everything is just beautiful. As I said, he is quite gigantic, enormous. Can't even use one word. It has to be, just the word itself has to be big, so it's just, they did a great job on this guy. I'm loving it. That sword is just, it's intense. It could probably cut you just from the hilt. You die just from that hilt. Don't even need the blade. Those knuckles, look at this. Beautiful. I'm thinking about getting the attachment fingertips. Not sure yet. Haven't decided if I want to go and get them, but maybe. Maybe I will. It seems like it'll be worth it. The wings are actually a lot bigger than I have them to be. They're just kind of compacted in at the moment just so I can get everything in frame. But yeah, this is just great job on this guy. They nailed it. 100% nailed it. Nailed it. Soiled it. Soiled it. No, nailed it. That's the way to go. I love the very totem pole-esque design they got going on with this guy. I mean, that's just the G1 style in general. It gives me a very big, like, I feel like this guy's like a giant totem pole that's like alive. And I don't know, that just works for me. That's cool. I like it. You know, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heads on him. He's got 2 at the knees. Then we got that one lion head right there. Got the falcon head there, or condor head. Then we got the tiger head there. So, very cool. I love it. This guy is just impressive in all forms. So I'm just going to talk about the articulation just because moving it around is going to be too much of a hassle, but head can move on a ball joint. We got these cannons here that can move around on the shoulders. They are kind of not, like they have to be in this kind of position. You can't really have them in a standard position, like put away, just because the wing pack gets in the way. Unless you want to remove it and, you know, do all that junk, but nah, let's just leave it as is. We already know what the wings move like. We've seen that Talon video. The thighs, they do have a bend at the knee, or bend at the thigh actually. You have a thigh bend and a bit of a knee bend. So that's cool. You got a ball joint ankle, which is good. I wish it was a bit more tight, but he's standing firm, so I'm not too worried. No rotation at the waist, just because the way the waist armor hitches on, you can't really move it too much. Articulated with every single finger at the knuckle, and I think that's it. Oh, at the knuckle and at the mid finger, I guess. So double knuckle? I don't know what you call that. But he's got that. And the thumb is obviously also articulated. It's on its own ball joint, actually. So lots of thumb movement. Plus, you got a rotation at the wrist, which is cool. Bend at the elbow. And you can bring up the arms at the shoulder and rotate them, obviously. You do have to mess with the wings a bit if you want to bring them up or down a little. Just to get them out of the way. You can reposition them after you're done posing, but just, you know, keep that in mind. And rotation at the elbow as well. So it's a bend and a rotation. And I think that's it. I think we've got everything. So here you can see him I have with the TFC Toys Hercules and the Fans Projects Intimidator. And I have to say they look great together. I honestly don't have an issue with the different companies making, you know, different figures. I think they all work. These work for me. I can see these standing together. And I really love them. They look amazing with the new Unique, I think it's Unique Toys. Yeah, Unique Toys Abominus coming out. And with Warbitron's Predacons coming out. We'll finally have a complete set of combiners. At least I will. I'm done. Once I've got them, I'm done with the Decepticon combiners. I don't need doubles. I don't need duplicates from different companies. I'm covered. Good. I cannot wait to be finished. Yes, so much money will be saved. So, here we have them compared with the Goldfire Deluxe Class Generations and a little Legends Class Optimus Prime. I wasn't sure what scale looked better because the thing is, realistically, I think Voyager / Deluxe would probably be the best scale. But whenever they combine in the cartoons, movies, comic books, whatever, their mass shifting is insane, and like it ends up like this, where really they'd be about his size to start with, and then like the limbs would grow huge, and it's like, wait, what? How did that get that big? So I think this is a good scale. I mean, it works. This is definitely, you know, he's a behemoth compared to them now, so I think this could work. And here I have him paired up with Toy World's Hegemon / Megatron. That looks fantastic, if I must say so. It's beautiful. Again, the scale is probably not perfect, but it still looks great. There is the leader, and there is his mighty warrior. Long live the king. So, we have a close-up on Predaking's head, and yes, it's delicious looking. It is just the way he should look. It's perfect, it's beautiful, spot on. Again, I wish the visor glowed like it should, but it's unfortunate that there's some issues with it, but still looks awesome, and I like it. I'm really loving this. This is fantastic. I just can't get over it. You guys got to get yourself this guy. You got to get it. Warlord, Unique Toys Warlord is not bad design, I guess. I don't have an issue with it. I just heard that the QC on it wasn't what it could be. So that was my issue with it. I was thinking about getting it, but I'm so glad I went with Mastermind Creations. I am just loving it so much. So overall, this is a fantastic set. He probably is one of the best combiners to date, just because he doesn't feel like there's any spot on him that's got too much weight. And at the same time, his legs, they can use a little help sometimes, but for the most part, he can stand pretty well on his own. Even though his legs, or at least the ankles, are huge, they don't collide so hard together where they slide apart, and you can't get them together or they slide apart. He does stand very firm, so I'm not too worried about that. He does have that cool elbow joint that doesn't require the thighs to be the elbow like you do see with most combiners, which is a plus. That's a major plus for me. So he doesn't feel like it's just a bunch of limbs hanging off. So they did a great job on the engineering and the articulation and just the overall like paint and everything, the molding's all great. It's all there. It just feels like Predaking. It doesn't feel like anything else. So that's why I'm saying this is probably one of the best ones we have. Plastic quality is really tough and intense. It's there. There are some tough bits to do, at least with Tigress and the weapons and all that. But it's definitely very well done overall. So Intimidator is definitely up there with this guy. He definitely does. Again, he has that same. He can stand on his own very well. He's not. I'm not worried about him toppling over or anything. None of his limbs. Obviously, his limbs are perfect just because since they're so small, you don't have to worry about the weight issues. But this guy's really big, and he still doesn't really have any weight issues. So they did a great job on that. And Intimidator, they also did a great job because he's got that main core body where it's huge, and then he's got the smaller limbs. But this guy, he's got the main core body huge, but the other ones are huge as well. So I feel like they're tied when it comes to the engineering and how they decided to use what they had, the pieces that they were given, and how to make sure they wouldn't be too heavy in certain spots while being, you know, still looking great. Because I know Hercules was probably, I think it was the first combiner by a third party, and that was great. There are some weight issues with it. I feel like the weight's not evenly distributed in every corner of it. So you do have to find some certain poses for it, for it to stand and all that. Same with Uranus. Uranus is probably definitely a step down from that. It has even worse legs. Like, that one can't stand for beans. So, yeah. But this guy, they're definitely nailing it. If Mastermind wants to keep making toys, not combiners, because if they want to keep doing the Autobot combiners, if they make like a Protectobots, yes, 1,000 times yes. I don't think I'm going to get TFC's Protectobots. I think I'm going to wait. I wouldn't doubt it. Someone else does it somewhere down the line. So, yeah, if they do it, awesome. So next up, who is it? Warbitron, Bruticus, go! Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys subscribing, liking my videos, sharing them around, commenting. I love all that. Thank you so much for all that stuff you guys do. Don't forget to follow me on Tumblr at Vacation, and Twitter at Vacation, and Instagram at MechasDivineHeart. You find all my pictures, recent purchases, who's making what's coming out, all that good stuff and more. Always, I like to update as much as I can. Sometimes it's difficult to get stuff going, but I feel like today's the day where I'm going to get a lot done, so hopefully we'll see. Anyways, guys, take it easy. Until next time, have a great day!